What's up, Otaku's? It's your Super Otaku here, and I just want to apologize to um, anyone who watches my content or is subscribed or is watching this now. But yeah, I scheduled a bunch of videos this week, thinking, yeah, I'm gonna jump on every night. This is my sort of my last hurrah for the channel before you know back to school and all the you know kind of return to the school pattern. Summer is over; it's ending. We'll have a bunch of things: October baseball, football. We'll have a bunch of things upon us that we can look forward to. But um, and again, the thing we're looking most forward to is this Sunday, and we'll get more into that. If you're following along, you know what I'm referring to by this Sunday. But yeah, my apologies again. Like I'm sure maybe some of you are just like notify me, and then the time came and you're like, okay, is he coming on or what's going on? And you're probably like, I don't know, just disappointed. And sorry for doing that to you. I do struggle with attention, and time management sometimes becomes a challenge. But yeah, I just was lazy. I was just like, I came home from work. I'm like, I gotta dig up Supergirl books now, and like, it was just a chore to like. I didn't realize like, oh yeah, I'll just do a video each night with of the top books I picked up. I picked up so much stuff this year. I mean, it is already August though. I mean, 8 months that we've had the opportunity. Again, I had a pretty generous budget from my wife. Um, I eked every little, maybe 20 this month. Kind of, she just let it slide. So really, just all of this is in due part to again, my wife, our budgeting. Um, Jens is big, has a big. I mean, he has his footprint all over these books, and he'll remember probably where and when we picked him up. So big shout out to him. And yeah, that's we're gonna go over so many books right now because I picked up so much Superman goodness. And I got to make a distinction here. We picked up a lot of great books. Like I picked up first uh, Hellblazer, okay, out of the 50-cent bin. That was a big one. I've also picked up the Lois Lane book, you know, the this slab here. But I didn't. I mean, technically, it is a Superman book, but technically, it isn't. It's Lois Lane. Okay, it's her book, just like Jimmy Olsen. I mean, they're Superman adjacent characters, but they're characters in their own right. So what we're really focusing on is really the Superman pickups. And now there might be like Batman in there with him somewhere, but it's central focus is still on Superman. So all of these are Superman pickups, and I'm probably leaving a bunch off. This is just the stuff I could kind of dig up, before jumping on. So please just bear that in mind. And we got a lot of books to get to. All right, so let me just share, and then we're gonna have some fun. We're just gonna kind of chit chat and do some fun stuff today. So give me just a second here. Hopefully my mic is working. Yeah, it looks to be working. That's good. All right, I think we're ready to share the screen here. Okay, so Jens and I are going to be going to Vancouver, and basically, I was kind of went over what I was looking for and all this, but I came to a new sort of paradigm or directive, and I'm going to cover that as I show off the books that we picked up. So let's just start right here. I'm going to go with the okay. So I'm going to go with the signature books first because we picked up a lot of signature books. And again, these are the Superman related ones. I picked up signature books that are, you know, just a wide variety of stuff. Um, but yeah, here's some of the better. Whoops, what are we doing here? Did I just turn off the camera? I believe I did. Hang on. All right. Give me just 1 second here. There we go. All right. Let's try this again. Share. Okay. So, yeah, we picked up this copy from FenCom when it was being held back in May. And I got it out of Jason's like $5 bin. And I think he didn't realize it. He just put it in the $5 bin, and he didn't realize it had a signature on it. But he was a cool sport. He sold it to us for the. He didn't change the price. He sold it to me for 5, and he also gave us a discount on a Silver Age book. So shout out to Jason too. All right, a lot of these books are from Jason, and so this is Jason starts us off here, I guess, with this Art Adams signature. Now, Art Adams is a great artist, but I don't think he brought his A game to this particular cover. And I don't know, maybe the original sketch was a lot more impressive, or maybe he just started and then realized, man, this isn't going to look good, but I just want to finish it. And he just finished it the best way he could. So he didn't have his heart in it. But for whatever the reasons, we got this signed copy by Art Adams Action Comics annual #1. This is from the post crisis reset. So, yeah, I mean, think about this. It's written by John Byrne. It's penciled by Arthur Adams, and it's inked by Dick Giordano. So the interior pages of this book are just going to be magnifique. So happy to add this to my collection. Really, really a key find there for $5. So this is our next piece. Now, I already have a signed copy of this book, but it kind of looks dull, and it's in green up here in the foil region. There's no COA, but it is obviously Dan Jurgens' signature. But yeah, I had that copy, and then I had an opportunity to pick up this one. What did we pay for this one? This one was like $18 or something. It was something ridiculous. This is one of 10,000 copies. I mean, that's a lot of copies, but think about it. This is one of those books you want because it came out at the time of the release of the book. So Rep Reading and Dan Jurgens dual signed this, as part of the um, Dynamic Forces signature. And that's what we have here. We have a dynamic signature. Let me take it out so you can. I don't know if it, yeah, it should be here. We have a Dynamic Forces from 19. Why isn't the year on there? Huh. Interesting. They don't have the year. But anyway, it was signed at the launch of the. I guess the COA is just be like, this was signed at the launch of the book. So whatever date is on the book, October of 93 is when this book was signed. So October 93, Dan Jurgens Rep Reading. Man, and this one really, the color pops. I mean, this is the representative book for the collection. And man, was that a nice ad. That's a flex right there. And this one also, I think we picked this up for $5 or something, right? No, seven. We picked it up for half of this price, so $7.50 for a day. This is also a dynamic. This is just, it's crazy. I'm telling you, it's craziness. So this is another Dynamic Forces, one of 10,000 copies. Or no, what is that? Can you read that? I can't read that. Let's read the COA. It'll be on there. So this is one of 8,000 copies, okay, of Action 1000 variant. This is a wraparound cover, and he kind of does all these different versions of Superman throughout the years, including his Return of Superman, right? And sort of the Superman before he dies, the death, and you got the cover there, the cape at half mast. That is fantastic stuff. That's a pickup right there. That's another flex. And so yeah, it's been pretty just whoa, okay. My cat is very upset. She just is letting me know she's not happy. She's not a happy camper. I'm sorry. All right, so what do you want? Come here. Why are you being so grumpy? Why are you being so grumpy, huh? All right. We've got Superman 205. This is a book we just picked up last weekend for $5. I mean, that's just ridiculous. A double sig. No. What do we pay for this one? Yeah, we paid $5 for this one. It was absolutely either 10 or 5. I think it was 10 or 5. Anyway, either way, it's ridiculously uh, insane how low we paid for this. But a double signature. So I already have this book signed, but it's just Michael Turner's signature. And we had an opportunity to pick up this and the colorist. And the colorist's name is, I think, Peter Stegwald, um, or Paul Stegwald. It's one of those. But anyway, it's the colorist. And the colorist really does this cover such beautiful justice. I mean, you could have just done Turner and this guy just kind of like as a duo. I know he didn't end up being Turner's personal colorist, but man, imagine if they had kind of just built a brand name and just did more work together. You'd have this kind of incredible work. But anyway, our mission is to now get Jim Lee's signature on this book. This is a high priority mission. So next signing, this is at the top of the list, along with a Neil Adams signature book. That those two are definitely going to get signed. If we can sign a couple more, in one of those package deals, we will pay up for that. CGC, I'm just not ready to do that yet. That's too much of a financial burden. But I feel like if he comes to Emerald City Comic Con and there are tickets for that, I am on board. I'm the first one. I'm going to try to get the medium sized package, and whatever that's worth, we'll pay it. All right. Now, those are the signed books, and we're going to end with a signed book. So our last book, our book of the, I guess, pickup of the summer, from a Superman perspective, is a signed book, and we'll get to that. But yeah, right now I'm going to just show off some of the great books we picked up. And I was mentioning, again, Jens was pretty much here for all of those signature pickups, except the Brett Breeding Dan Jurgen signature book. That was an eBay purchase. So um, aside from that book, everything was pretty much, we were hunting for comic books together in all of this, and that includes this one. We picked this up at Bell Kirk, coin and stamp. It had a lot of issues, but Jens was able to clean and press the book, and it just looks phenomenal now. I can really just be happy with this copy as my, representative copy. Um, just because of the unmyeong in this book, it has nothing to do with the grade or value. It's the fact that, like, it's a memory. It's a memory of this summer, and yeah, I'm sure Jens has probably a lot of. Like, I just can only imagine what you're thinking as you're working on this book, but I'm sure you're marveling at the just the mastery of the medium by Mr. Neil Adams here. Just an incredible, colorful, and very just like kind of it's a cover that definitely just kind of catches your eye. Man or beast. Uh, Lots of questions pop in your head. What's going on here? It's just like, what? And you kind of want to pick up the issue, right? This whole early Bronze Age of Superman, I am wanting to just get it all. Like, I kind of, I want to pick up the Silver Age stuff too. That will always remain a priority. And any age of Superman is really great. I'm not trying to discriminate, but if I'm to prioritize pickups, I want to prioritize Bronze Age, because Bronze Age, you can just get them in better grade and get them more affordably. And then, yeah, you build up a base of that kind of stuff in your collection, and then you pick up big pieces here and there. I really like that as like the core identity than trying to pick up like low grade, Silver Age, just because that's my price range. I'd rather focus on a higher grade Bronze Age, right around that same uh, price point, and add that to my collection. So really, priority for me going into Vancouver is to pick up more 20-cent Action Comics, 20-cent Superman comics, even 20-cent Lois Lane's, 20-cent World's Finest. Although I will be primarily focused on Action Comics Superman first. I'm open to the 20-cent Wonder Woman and all the DC books, because eventually I do want to kind of pivot toward just maybe collecting that age of DC, that early Bronze Age of DC, the 20-cent era, I will call it. But yeah, that's a broad swath of DC history. Um, and so we're not going to be able to pick up all the books. I just want to, like, you know, um, start with the Superman at least. I'm sure I can complete the Superman 20-cent era collection. And that's kind of where my focus is right now. And so, um, fortunately, I know, I kind of talked this into existence just with all the great 20-cent books I picked up this summer. So that's kind of, I guess, um, what had me thinking, like, you know what, I really love this stuff. I mean, what's not to love about the 20-cent era is essentially the property of Nick Cardy. And and just this year, I've always loved Nick Cardy's stuff, but Nick Cardy's never in my top 10 artists, although I think he did break the top 10 last year. Um, but he is fast shooting up uh, my list of artists that I love. And again, that's why I kind of want to focus on finishing this 20-cent era, because it's all him. I mean, there's some Kurt Swan mixed in, but it's mostly just Nick Cardy goodness, from top to bottom. It's Nick Cardy goodness. We picked up this one here, Action Comics 441. Great flash cover there. And the 20-cent era is just such a great design era. I mean, it's just so um, hygienic. It's just a really clean looking, like, everything's compact. You got DC, you got the great trade dress there. It's very colorful. It's very vibrant. You could tell it was still like, meant for kids. Like this book was for kids to read, not a burgeoning adult market. And so, yeah, we just, um, these are great pickups here. All again, just fantastic Nick Cardy work. This is another one I want to highlight here because Jens got this for me out of the dollar bin, and Jens is kind of like um, perfecting his craft with the whole pressing and cleaning, and I can just tell you he's already a pro. He's a pro. Um, to have this much success with his the way his setup is, and he's very thorough and precise. I know he gets a lot of it from the resources he's read, but I'm sure there's a little tweak here and there to, like every process, he's probably tweaking it. But he there was a like a coffee stain here, and he was able to remove it. I mean, you have to look very closely because it's so you can see it right there if you look really close, right along the P. You see that little ring, but I mean, you back it out, and you just can't really tell it's there. It's so faint. But yeah, we got another fantastic Nick Cardy. Uh, we have met the enemy, and he is ours. These soldiers just took out Superman. Man, kind of want to see. You kind of want to buy the issue and find out what's going on, right? So it's like this great cover, and man, Nick Cardy must have sold a lot of comic books. I mean, this is just phenomenal, phenomenal stylistic comic book art here. Very stylized. Man, here's another fantastic. Oh my goodness, this is probably one of his best, most iconic Superman covers, arguably. And again, from the 20-cent era here, we got the 20-cent in pink because it's pink sapphire here on the cover. Commanding, not asking, commanding Superman to lick her boot. So, or kiss her boot. Sorry, not lick her boot, but kiss her boot. Let the whole world see you become my slave. Oh, all right. So there you go. Some 20-cent action, and man, I am looking forward to picking up more 20-cent books on the hunts now, and really just kind of cementing that. I am definitely putting. I'm going to see the girth of that collection because there's a lot of books. The 20-cent period covers almost a 2-year period of books. So, I mean, just Action Comics and Superman alone, that's almost 50 books right there. So it's going to be a large kind of hole or gap to fill. And 50 books, I mean, that's I have a fraction of that right now. So it's going to be, I mean, not in a I have a good deal of it, and in the other titles as well. So anyway, we got to be more thorough on what we need to add. So we'll start to target stuff, I bet, I guess. All right, continuing on, we picked up this in Portland for $10. And, this is one of those situations where I paid for what it is. I might have overpaid for what it is. It is a great early Silver Age copy of Adventure Comics here. It's just great. I just love, again, when I saw the book, it was just one I needed to add. And so, this was within the realm of acceptability for me. It's really about the image. The book isn't all that terrible in terrible condition either. It's a complete book. You got, just kind of need some TLC. This is definitely a book for Jens to maybe tackle. So this will head his way at some point. But our focus right now is on Vancouver, so we're not doing a lot of that stuff right now. But when we get back and we enter the wet dark, the wet dark. Not looking forward to that here in the Pacific Northwest. We'll be bored out of our noggins, and I'm sure Jens will just be chugging away at cleaning and pressing books. So just keep him busy. Yeah, so that's that. We picked up this great 10 center as well. We got this for like $12. And really has no business being a $12 book. It's got this great date stamp, really fantastic condition. This book is from, I think, 1958, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but a great cover there of the Black Knight and a super sword. Why am I flipping it over? There's no need to flip it over. All right. Next, we have this trade that came kind of early on in the year with Bigby. And we picked up this great adventure. It's a Golden Age book from 1955. And it's fantastic condition. I mean, it's really a nice grade for the age. And again, Golden Age, late Golden Age book here, 10 cent. And it's just really, this is, I think, Ramona Fredon. No, what's the cover artist name here? I think it's Ramona Fredon, who worked on the cover here for this particular book. Just such a simple, junior jury. Like they have these kinds of things, like teaching kids how to do their civic jury duty. That again is just a weird. It's like a teleportation to a weird time of of American cultural history there. We also have here this Action Comics 418. Again, the coloring, the design of this color, how just bright and vibrant this age of artwork is what, and this is the thing. Like, arguably, Kurt Swan is the greatest Superman artist of all time. Just based on how long he's worked on the title, the quality of work he's put in, the fact that he's just done every aspect and angle that you can on a book. And he helped create the lore of the character. During an age where, the world needed Superman, the post-war, era, just the kind of the the charge as a superpower. It's like America comes out of World War II, the superpower, and what better character to guide you through this post-war, boon time, and then Superman. So yes, obviously the 70s are a different issue, but I'm just talking about like the Silver Age stuff. It's really just a fantastic thing to behold. And Kurt Swan is what his character, his Superman is what carried through. But when you just talk about art, when you talk about art, Kurt Swan was a great artist, but Nick Cardy and what he's doing on this book here that's art right there. That's just fantastic, phenomenal. I mean, the whole piece here, like it's the frame of this. It's the actual design of this comic book. Let me just kind of for you to see the contrast, let me just get one of Kurt Swan's books here and just show you just the contrast between these two artists. Um, like this is fine. This is what you want cover art to do. You want cover art to be like telling kind of the story, had the word bubbles. Oh, there's some romance here. And then Supergirl, what? Oh, she finally hooked him up. Now he can live happily ever after. And then you get the featuring Superman super courtship. It's like it's this just nice little story within a story. But it has this sort of like, you know, comic book element to it. Whereas this one is truly just like a cover. It's what a cover is supposed to do. Um, and it's just to draw your eye to what's going on. This one achieves that too. I don't want to say it doesn't achieve that, but this one, it just kind of strangleholds you, uh, strangleholds you into paying attention, and your eye goes there, and it's immediately satisfied with like all these like vibrant primary colors. Man, and you get more Superman metamorpho in a new freaked out fable. Like all these things are like almost tertiary to like the art. Like okay, yeah, let me enjoy this first, and then let me find out what else is going on. Um, and so yeah, it's less of a story, and it's more of just like processing the image. So that's just a cool contrast right there between really two legendary artists. And although Kurt Swan is again like undeniably the Superman artist of all time, um, I do think there is room for debate to put artists such as Neil Adams and Nick Cardy um, also at the forefront. Like they could challenge Kurt's sort of claim to that because Kurt is really about volume. Um, but Kurt, I mean, there are Kurt pieces that arguably are perfect. Like there's no real challenge to that. So you can make an argument either way. They're all three some of the top, and it's just really subjective. Like it really comes down to your personal preference and taste. But I mean, right now, Nick Cardy and Bob Oxner, that's another guy we picked up a lot of. These two guys just shot up onto my radar this year, and I'm really, again, I want to finish this run of Supergirl. I think it's like 11 issues or something, 12 issues. So it's not a big lift. We have, I think, 5 or 6 of the issues already, so we're well on our way. But definitely finish up that run. This I picked up last year, so I'm not going to show that. But this one we picked up at FenCom. Again, this one has this sort of like ring around the Yeti here, but it looks like it looks like he's like some kind of Messiah Yeti or something. Like God Yeti, like he's the chosen, like some kind of angel Gabriel Yeti, maybe. Or maybe maybe that's just a coffee mug stain because some dad just decided to put his coffee mug on the Supergirl comic as a coaster, like some Nimrod. At least he didn't put it on the ladies. All right, that would just be that would have just angered future me uh, toward the past. This dad guy, the coffee drinking dad guy. To no end. All right. This one we picked up at Jason's also earlier this year. This one is just notable because Jason really hooked us up with a really, really clean copy at a great price. So, again, just want to thank him for just having this book and giving it to me for a great price. That's really the nuts and bolts of it right there. You take a look at the back. Just again, fantastic. Looks like it looks to have been cleaned and pressed. So Kind of grade worthy material right there for sure. All right. Well, we're not done yet. Actually, yeah, I kind of lied. I did show off a Lois Lane book, so but Superman's there, so it's technically a Superman book. All right, so all right, we're coming down to the top four pickups of well, not top 24. Sorry, top four pickups of 2026 related to Superman pickups. So these are continue to be Superman books. And again, this was part. Well, I'm just going to show off both books because um, they came from the same source. These are books from Half Price Books, my local Half Price books here, and these were books that were in the, in the what you call it, the lock box. You can kind of dig and look and see what they have, and I did ask to have these taken out, and I did take a look at the grades, and I just thought, man, that's a great price, especially this book. I was like, as soon as we get 50 or 60 bucks into the budget, I think this was, what did it go for, Jens? Do you remember? I think it was like 80 bucks, somewhere around there, 75, 80 bucks. And this was like 40 bucks or something like that. Um, I think all in all, it was like $100 purchase. But again, this one was like kind of like also on my radar, but not as much as this book. This is the one I was like, man, if we get money, I'll get this. And then this was kind of like second on the radar, but I didn't really have any inklings like I'd have $100 soon to try and pick up both. But Jens, so this is how I met Jens. Jens kind of came in and he's like, "What would you recommend I get out of this comic book bin?" And I kind of begrudgingly said, "You don't get these two because these are really high grade key books that are really underpriced here and also undervalued overall in the market. So you're getting like kind of like a undervalued market price plus the half price books kind of discount. But the grades on these are what's impressive about this. But anyway, we've got really like kind of fine plus to VF copies of Action Comics and DC Comics Presents. This is the first appearance of the new Teen Titans. So, it's a big book. And then this one is the first appearance of Parasite with the pinup intact. And I mean, just look at the grade of this book. This is also one like grade worthy book. I would put this at, yeah, like a fine plus. I mean, um, there's just not a lot. Um, I mean, there's dirt and stuff there, but it's complete. There's no like rips or chunks missing out of the book. It's fantastic. And so, yeah, this was part of the trade with Jens. I sent him over a bunch of books, but we got the year started off right with this pickup. I mean, I just was like, everything else would be gravy, um, because I just thought nothing's going to surpass this year. This would just be the cherry on top, and we got it early. But no, again, thanks to like Jens and just going out and hunting and being active and being on the lookout and having a little money, we were able to add the ongoing first appearance of adult Bizarro, ongoing adult Bizarro. And yeah, we traded for this book. I traded my 9/6 copy of direct copy of Punisher #1, the limited series, my exec cover, um, really iconic #1 issue for Punisher there. But yeah, I just that was a book I picked up as part of my original collection. Um, and I do love the Punisher. I read a lot of Punisher, but I didn't really collect Punisher um, until like recently because of the Jim Lee work on it. But um, yeah, I thought if I could trade that book in for this one, I think I gave him a little value there because Punisher was a hot book. It's CGC slab. I mean, he'll be able to sell that 200 plus easy. But the real prospect was again 9.6 copy. If he just cracked it, maybe pressed it himself or did whatever, maybe I don't know. I don't know what the notes were, but it was just some ridiculous like something like minor flaw that kept it from being a 9.8. But again, if he were to crack it and resubmit, he'd probably get a 9.8 instead of 9.6 I got. So I think he also recognized that. He's looking at the book going like, yeah, we could probably crack and it's worth resubmitting is basically the point. And he could probably get a cool Punisher label to increase the just the attractiveness of the book. But yeah, that's the book we traded for this. And again, $200 in trade value. I consider it. I guess it depends on where you land on these creases, because it's got long creases there. But then again, it's an older book. This is a 1950. I think this is 1958 as well. Um, just to have this again complete book. The spine is a little rough there, but the staples and everything is still intact. um it's straight. Again, I don't think this book has been pressed yet, but it can definitely stand to be like cleaned and pressed. um and who knows, I mean, it could be a lot. There could be room for improvement here just from an eye appeal standpoint. So that is number two in terms of the magnitude of pickups. This was a huge one. It's a huge key of one of Superman's top villains, and obviously, he's my favorite villain. I love Lex Luthor, but my Lex Luthor is Gene Hackman. I didn't get introduced to Lex Luthor through the comics, so Lex Luthor has always kind of been, oh, the mad scientist, and obviously he's very different from that now, especially during my era of collecting and watching cartoons. He became kind of the leader of the Legion of Doom as just sort of this mastermind. Um, but then he's evolved into being this sort of like political corporate, uh, you know, uh, I guess you'd call him a tech bro. That's sort of a evil tech bro is kind of his new persona. And that's been his evolution. But Bizarro here, man, this recipe remains. No, actually, Bizarro went through a couple of retcons as well, but his essence still remains. Like, he's dumb. He's just like as powerful as Superman, but he does things backwards, and he don't speak well, or he don't speak too good. So that's pretty much, and my camera is just having issues here. Give me a second here. I think this is the universe telling me, come on, you got to get a new camera here. Quit giving the people what they don't want. So, all right, so there you go. This though is not the top Superman pickup. Um, this top Superman pickup is, that distinction goes to Superman 244. This great, like I was mentioning, this great early Bronze Age era. This was, I think, 1971 or 72, somewhere around there. 71, yeah, 71. And this signature is on the interior part, the first page of the book. Um, and again, there's no real COA, but in terms of comparing other Kurt Swan signatures, it seems to be legit. And if that's the case, then what we have here is a true one of one. There are no signature copies of this book on the CGC census. I've yet to see anything signed by anybody on this book, even on eBay. So there's no signatures. No one's going out and getting Leo Dorfman's signature on this book, I guess. But that's kind of what we're dealing with. This is a true one of one in the Superman run, and I'm sure there are a lot of one of ones where you just have that's the only copy in the run signed by the cover artist, whether it's on the cover or in the interior. But I'm sure there aren't. I'm sure there aren't too many one of ones. You know what I mean? Because like the signature thing became a thing kind of like toward the late 70s. No one was signing, the artists were not signing their own books for fans until like it started becoming a thing at the cons. And the cons started really picking up, kind of in the mid to late 70s in these like comic nerd circles. And yeah, that era of signatures is probably very, very rare. But Kurt Swan was active in that, as was Jack Kirby, as was, like a lot of the artists from that era, Neil Adams included. So a lot of like just artists have been a part of that, just with that con circuit, signing books for fans, meeting fans. And back then you'd get these signatures for free. You just go meet them, talk to them, and they wouldn't charge you anything for the signature because like, thanks for reading my book, kid, and here's my signature. And that's kind of what we got. And they signed on the interior part of the book. They would never sign on the cover during that era. So this is like an early, signature of Kurt Swan back before, CGC and all these things became the thing, the rage. This is like old school inside the book signature. Again, a one of one in the Superman run, where it's probably only signed book by Kurt Swan on this issue. So a huge book. I don't know if you can even start to put a price tag on this for me. A 101. I mean, what are we talking about here? I can set my price, I guess, and if you don't like it, then you can not own the book. And the first off is not going anywhere. It's just going to end up hopefully in my son's collection and my grandson's collection, just stay in the family. But something tells me somewhere along the road, one of my future heirs is gonna be like, man, let's just sell this, man. It's worth a lot of money. Let's just sell it to somebody and just get money. Hopefully they'll sell it for like $1 billion or something. All right. There you go. That is my top book, a 101 Superman 244 signed by Kurt Swan. Fantastic cover there, also by the great legendary artist there. Just absolutely thrilled to have this as part of my collection now. Absolutely thrilled. And that's the kind of year it's been for me for Superman. I mean, there's been a lot of other pickups we've had, but where's my mouse? Jeez. All right. We've had other pickups, like Supergirl too, and I just partitioned. I didn't want to put Supergirl in with my Superman books because that would be unfair to Supergirl. And so Supergirl's probably going to get her own video at the point. It's still the summer of Supergirl, so I didn't want to close the book on the summer of Supergirl until we truly come back from Vancouver, and maybe we'll bring back the first appearance of Kara Zor-El. It's within the realm of possibilities. No, no, no. I don't have enough money. Yes, no. That probably is not within the realm of possibilities. But anything can happen, right? Who knows? Maybe it's just like a beat up copy and no cover or something. There's mold and peanut butter jelly and some kid doing, practicing their signature on the book. It just, who knows? It could happen. But you will find out very soon, my friends. I'm going on tomorrow night with my partner in crime, Collector Brain. It's Friday night brainstorm. Don't miss it. Catch that Friday nights weekly, either on this channel or his channel. But yeah, we're gonna go on tomorrow night, kind of prep for our trip to Vancouver and talk about this and that, lanterns and all that. And then yeah, we'll come back from Vancouver and we'll go over our haul. So that is that. I also want to give a big shout out to Roger. I sent him the books. He received the books this week. And so he's going to start working on the books. And so it's probably going to be a process where he just works on the books, sends them back. And then when I get the books, I'll unbox it and we'll go over it together on this channel or his channel, whatever, however it probably my channel, but however it works out. But yeah, I'm just kind of going to get the results in my hand and he's going to talk about them and we're just going to ooh and ah. Hopefully ooh and ah. Hopefully we're not crying because something happened there. But I trust Roger. Roger's going to do his utmost to and take the delicate care that it needs to when you work on books like this. Because you really just need to go slow. You need to just do everything at a micro kind of level in terms of how this might impact the book, how sensitive you are with handling the book and all that, and what you introduce, the materials you introduce it to. So again, Roger's fantastic at that. So that's why he's working on those two particular books because they're just big ones in my collection. And again, we'll go over that when those come back with him, and very looking forward to that. So a lot of things going on here for us as we kind of end the summer here, but yeah, we'll continue to do this, and we'll just sort of do an evaluation of where the collection is after Vancouver, and just plan our, I guess, last couple of months of the year, see what we have. But I don't think I'll be doing too much buying. I'm going to focus the budget now on school stuff and other things. So probably limit what I can do with my comic book budget, and also probably be too busy doing end of the year stuff. We're going to, a friend's wedding later this month, and it's a lot of things we need to just kind of prepare for. So it'll definitely slow down from the pace we've been going. So with that, I'm just going to end this. Thanks for joining, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.